to many world's most famous wildlife. As the population of the wild animals continues to grow, experts say there is need to provide room for the animals to roam. Traditional leaders from East and Southern Africa met in Amboseli for a 5-day tour to share ideas and experiences that will ensure both human and wildlife thrive in the places where they live together. Patronila Goren was in Amboseli and has filed the following report.
We have a largest network of community rangers.
This was the beginning of a shift in the dynamism into how human and wildlife can coexist without barriers across Africa. Amboseli National Park was declared a UNESCO Man and Biosphere Reserve in 1991. Unlike an ordinary national park, it not only conserves nature, but also incorporates community concerns and involves the local community by tapping into indigenous knowledge to manage and conserve biodiversity. The park attracts tourists from all over the world, but this was not an ordinary visit, but an intervention by the International Fund for Animal Welfare, IFO, to bring together traditional leaders from South African countries to deliberate on the need to embrace the idea of animals and humans thriving together, as is the norm in Amboseli.
In Malawi, we cannot live with animals. Heavy animals like lions, elephant. If you can see elephant, definitely you see, this is delicious meal. Let me kill and eat. So, but here, people don't do that. So this is very different.
The traditional leaders who represent over 100,000 people who live alongside wildlife are the key lead in convening and facilitating transparent and collaborative processes that are anchored in the indigenous culture, norms and values.
My visit here is to learn, is to see how the Maasai's have been doing it. I have realized that they've opened a gap, they've opened a space for wild animals. Animals are moving freely.
Young boys here, they are moving with the wildlife, with our goats, cows, moving with that at the protected area without killing the wildlife.
For instance, the Amboseli Skitenden Community Wildlife Conservancy takes a land-lease wildlife conservation approach.
Tuliona ni vyema sisi wetu tuzungumze kama watu moja, watu ambao wanaishi na wanyama.
In the year 2013, IFO secured 26,000 acres of wildlife habitat from landowners and intends to lease another 29,000 acres in the same ecosystem to enable the roaming of animals freely.
We are launching which we call Room to Roam. And the concept is to reconnect all of the habitat that elephants and other wildlife need to roam. And a lot of times when we're talking about populations of wildlife and populations of elephants, you'll hear things like there are too many elephants in one particular country. And it becomes very political. Oftentimes, the discussions are held by government officials. And when you look at some of the UN conventions, there are representatives of various governments speaking about wildlife management, nature, climate change, all of these issues. But one thing that I've always felt is missing is the voice of the traditional leaders.
More so, the government has put in place measures to ensure wildlife are well conserved.
Kenya has unique examples of conservation efforts that have worked, especially with lobby groups and local communities, who are the first line of defense for these treasured animals.
According to the chiefs, the meeting provides a trailblazing opportunity for them to discuss the real-life challenges faced by their communities and to explore solutions that will pave the way for successful human-wildlife coexistence.
Africa, if you can do this, we can preserve and protect our natural resource. Definitely, we cannot talk about the poverty. We can talk about the problem of our financial system in our government in Africa.
So I asked the community how they've been able to benefit through protecting the wildlife.
Tumekuwa na employment, tumepata scholarship, na ni sisi wenyewe tunaendesha hizo process. Kwa hivyo mimi natumai tukiendelea namna hii pengine tutakuja kufikiana tuwe na watu ambayo wa lengo moja, wa sauti moja, wa mwelekeo moja.
IFO hopes to engage more local communities in Africa to embrace room to roam ideology.
If we put government and the efforts of KWS, if we put in community and layer in the cultural aspects and look at the livelihoods, I think that we will give wildlife a chance to continue to thrive into perpetuity.
Besides the benefits in the local community, the wildlife also play a vital role in balancing of the ecosystem, as was the discussion on climate change in the just concluded COP26 in Glasgow, Scotland.
Adaptation is ensuring that our people, our communities, our economy has the necessary resilience, adaptive capacity to withstand or quickly recover from the impacts of climate change.
As South African traditional leaders converge here to learn from the Maasai community how they've been able to coexist with wildlife, the biggest hope is that other African countries will be able to adopt the same and use it to preserve their resources and also help them to alleviate themselves from poverty. Petronila Goren for TV47 from SIGNET in Kajiado County.